Well, we all wish our pets could live forever. Some Las Vegas pet owners have taken the steps to create an identical twin before they pass away.
Tonight, we dive into the world of cloning a pet. Anchor Kirsten Joyce with how it began, how it works, and what it costs.
Turn around. Turn around. Oh, now he's shy because there's people here. This is Cosmo. This is Blue, the little mutt.
31-year-old Monica Ward of Henderson has been an animal lover her entire life.
I grew up with so many pets. I've had like over 40 pets in my life.
But it was one precious dog that touched her heart, a sweet little Maltese, Angel.
She went through the really important fundamental growing years of my life, from 10 years old to an adult, moving to LA, moving back to Vegas.
And when Angel started getting up there in age, Monica came across an article on cloning with Viagen Pets.
I didn't even know it was a reality. I thought it was like far-fetched science fiction.
It's really an amazing technology that we have.
Client services manager Melaine Rodriguez of Viagen says when the company originally began 20+ years ago, it was only cloning livestock. Big business when you have a valuable breeding animal.
We had a client who had cloned the same bull 25 times.
And while the company had begun the process of genetically preserving pet cells, it hadn't started the cloning process until demand from pet clients took priority over livestock.
We started cloning dogs and cats in 2015. And since then, it's really taken off.
The first step begins with preserving the cell of the animal you want to clone, which typically happens when a pet is under an anesthetic at the vet. Monica took that step without any hesitation.
The thing about genetic preservation is that you have to do it while your dog or cat is still alive.
We do send a biopsy kit to the client, and the kit has everything that the vet needs to take the biopsy samples and to ship them back to us at the proper temperature.
Tissue biopsies go back to the lab in Texas. Millions of cells are grown from these skin samples.
Then we can cryopreserve or freeze those cells and store them until the client is ready to move forward with the cloning process.
A few months after Angel's passing, Monica was ready to begin the cloning process.
For me, it was one of the best decisions I made.
So we take a cell from the animal we want to clone, we take an egg from a donor dog, and we remove the nucleus from that egg. So now all the nuclear DNA has been removed, and we replace that with one of those cells that we've grown from the skin.
Similar to IVF in humans, except there is no sperm. It's a jolt of electricity that tricks the egg into thinking it's been fertilized and starts to grow an embryo, a genetic twin to the animal, the cell it came from, then placed into a surrogate mom who cares for the animal.
So you get updated all along the way, and that's also when you find out if you have one or two.
Or more than 3 clones.
Down. Everybody down.
Meet the 3 Beagle Cocker Spaniels kept after a Henderson man cloned his 13-year-old dog Bullet. 10 puppies emerged. He kept 3 of them.
Everybody stay. Good girls.
They all look identical and their personalities are all the same. Monica says the same is true of her clone, Jelly.
There are so many little quirks that Jelly does that only Angel did. I've never had such an immediate strong connection with a pet as I did with Jelly.
While some clones can be identical, not all of them are. Melaine has worked for the company for 15 years and says what she's learned from this technology is how much is ingrained in DNA. Things in the genetics of the animal that affect their personality and intelligence, which begs the question, can you clone the problems of an animal out?
But we're not quite there yet. Maybe that's something that's on the horizon. We're not able to genetically manipulate things right now. But with that said, for things like cancer or heart disease, if there is a genetic illness in the animal, the cloned animal may not be born with that illness or disease, but it's going to have that same potential to develop that at some point in its life.
As for Monica and what may happen in the future, anything's possible.
Maybe I'll clone Angel again when the time comes. I don't want to think about when the time comes, but she might be the repeat.
Now, it costs about $1,600 to do that genetic preservation, and then those samples can last decades. The annual cost to store them is $150. But the big ticket items are as follows, because I know you want to know how much it cost. $50,000 to clone a dog or a cat, and $85,000 to clone a horse.